Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. So, I am in the middle of reacting and reviewing the manga for Twittering Birds Never Fly. And I've watched Twittering Birds Never Fly, The Clouds Gather. And so I was told on Twitter and Discord and all over that Don't Stay Gold, the OVA, has just been released with Volume 7. And as I'm recording this, volumes 4 and 5 are going to be on YouTube. And so I was planning on seeing if Don't Stay Gold had came out when we get to volume 7, which will be at the end of this month. But since Don't Stay Gold isn't necessarily tied to, it's a flashback OVA of Kuga and Kageyama. It's not tied to the current events of what's going on in the manga, to my knowledge. And I've caught up pretty much with volume 6 at this point, reading that I think I can go ahead and watch this and record it, and it won't interfere with the other reactions that you guys are looking at on YouTube and Patreon. But for the record, Twittering Birds Never Fly, I love this manga series. It's Yakuza, it's crime noir, it's just sex, drugs, and rock and roll all put together, and steamy romance between Yashiro, Domeki, and Kuga and Kageyama, and everybody else. So there's a lot to enjoy about this series. I really enjoy it. I watched the movie before I read the manga, and now having gone back and read the manga, it's a really good adaptation. So I'm hoping that this adaptation, it's based off the one shot that the mangaka did. I'm hoping that it's a pretty faithful adaptation too. I'm pretty excited about it. So, with that being said, Just BL Things did an English translation, which kudos to y'all for getting the English translation, English subs out on this. Y'all, how you do it so fast is beyond me, because translation is such an art form, and the fact that these people can get these translations out so quickly, it baffles me, because it came out just like 5 days ago and they already had the whole OVA translated. I'm like, you guys are crazy. So yeah, it's 23 minutes long. I love Kuga and Kageyama's character, because Kageyama is such a stoic but kind-hearted and respectable person, and Kuga on the surface seems like a big brat. And you'd think, how did these two end up together? But Kuga, under the surface, is a caring person. He does have a good heart and a good head on his shoulders. He's just an impetuous brat. So, opposites attract, right? So, I'm really curious about this OVA. I'm really excited about it. I hope y'all are too. I was like, I've got time to record it today, so it maybe a little bit before it gets up on Patreon, YouTube, because I've got a lot of scheduling stuff going on. But I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and record it, and we're gonna see, because I can't wait. Because I want to get on Twitter and see spoilers and not be worried about knowing if I've watched it yet or not. So I hope y'all enjoy this reaction. Please feel free to comment down below. But yeah, we are going to start Twittering Birds Never Fly, Don't Stay Gold, the OVA, here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh, that was really good. Oh man. So I love Kuga and Kageyama's relationship in the manga. Kuga is very just carefree, just really flies by the seat of his pants. But in this, it's clear that Kuga's smart. He's not dumb, right? He knows enough about himself and about the world that he's grown up in. He's like, I know where I'm coming from, that I'm not probably going to make an honest living doing whatever, I'm not going to just go to a regular job. That's just not working for him. But I appreciate Kuga's character in that he literally stands up to Yashiro and he's like, no, I'm not staying with you. No. And Kageyama just coming to grips with the fact that he'd been against relationships with men, but then something about Kuga just sways him over. And I definitely get where Yashiro says he has a type, and Kageyama and Domeki are very similar in there. The deep voiced, big, caring individuals. But I love the fact in this that Kageyama establishes that him and Yashiro are similar. Yashiro doesn't seem to acknowledge it, but Kageyama's like, just like in the movie where Yashiro's like, Kageyama's this ray of light and I'm, in the darkness. That's not how Kageyama views himself. Kageyama views himself, he's like, Kuga's dazzling and I'm just faded. And that's so interesting that Kageyama views himself like that, when clearly Yashiro views him totally different. and Kageyama sees Kuga the way that Yashiro sees Kageyama. So it's a very interesting perspective of how these characters see each other. And I mean, Kuga's 22 and Kageyama's 36, so there is a big age difference. But at this point, they're at that stage in their lives where I think Kageyama is Kuga's mature enough to make decisions. You know, it's not. I don't think it's creepy at all at this point. Like, it's kind of strange that there's that much difference, but it's not creepy at all. Like, I like their relationship and that they're both mature adults. Even though Kuga's like, how is it having it with a virgin? And he's like, wait, what? And it's like, is he joking or is he not joking? But Kageyama is very similar to Domeki too, in that when he talks about the fetish thing, he's just very blunt and honest. He's like, no, this is kind of my thing. Everybody's got a kink, and this is mine. And Kuga's like, oh, okay. And he relates the burn marks to the idea of stitches, and if he grew up around a doctor's office in medicine, he would have seen that a lot. So that's very interesting. Very interesting. But I really like how this whole film melded together. It started where the movie started, and then it continued on and showed us what we didn't see, and then it ends right back at around where the movie gets to their relationship too. So I like that this OVA is basically like sandwiched in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and that's just, I really like that. I think that's a cool way of doing it. And I just like Kuga and Kageyama's relationship. It's a very wholesome. You don't use the word wholesome in this manga very much because it's not a wholesome thing. But I think that what Kageyama and Kuga have is a very genuine and open relationship with each other. They're open in their communication with one another and understand what each other wants out of the relationship, even though Kageyama seems like, I like the idea that Kageyama runs away because he doesn't want to have to deal with the consequences of all that. And then Yashiro inadvertently gets him to go back to it. And Yashiro, this OVA, I love sassy Yashiro. Like, sassy does not care Yashiro is my favorite. And he is just on full display. Even after getting beat up, he just has the cigarette and he's like, whatevs. And I'm just like, I love it. I love it. But yeah, Kageyama is a little bit naive and a little bit over his head because Kuga's like, you know, yeah, Yashiro's a masochist and he clearly likes guys, so I don't know where you're getting anything else out of this at. That was so good. That was really good. I'm excited, those of you that got to get it along with Volume 7. That's like, and I like that that's tiding us over until the storm breaks, until the second Twittering Birds movie. I like that that's tiding us over because, oh my gosh, if y'all are reading the manga with me, there's so much they have to adapt. And I mean, the first movie covered volumes 1 and 2 pretty much. But I'm like, are they going to get to volume 4 in the next movie? I don't know. I want them to adapt the whole thing, but who knows if they will. But this is a nice little tide over until we get further than that. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, watching it along with me. Alongside, I'm reading the Twittering Birds manga right now. It's so good. Like, it's just and I like with these relationships that none of it feels necessarily forced. Like in some BL stuff, it just happens and it's very forced. In Yashiro's case, all of the sexual activity is tied to his character, and that's part of the narrative. And so when it happens, it's very much tied to this. But this felt very much like Kageyama. It was Kageyama having a realization moment of, okay, I've never liked guys before, but I like this one. So what do I do about it? And the natural progression of him, like, slowly letting himself be okay with that. And then at the end there, when he runs after him in typical romantic trope fashion and like grabs his arm and does the kiss, he's letting himself like open up and express his emotions and express how he feels. And I felt that was really genuine and it felt natural in the story. It didn't feel like anything forced. And Kuga has been established to have that sort of thing already be a part of him. So part of his character. So, you know, he wasn't weirded out by it, but that was really good, guys. So I'm curious to know what you all thought down below. Please let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, that was a great OVA. Thank you all for sharing that with me. That made my day. So in any case, I'm looking forward to see what you guys think down below. I hope you guys watch the other Twittering Birds Never Fly manga reactions that I'm doing on Patreon and YouTube. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll talk to you all again soon with more Twittering Birds. Bye.